But, we're going to get to be at home for a while here now, and we need to make sure we play well when we're here.
Kickoff tomorrow set for 2:30. Our pregame coverage on the network begins at 10:30 with Husker Game Day with Ben McLaughlin and Brendan Steib. Several college games around the country tonight, including a couple of Big Ten games. They're about to kick off in East Lansing, Michigan State and Western Michigan, and a conference game tonight in Bloomington, Indiana. That'll be at 7 o'clock between the Hoosiers and the Fighting Illini. A couple of games underway in Major League Baseball as the Toronto Blue Jays are scoreless with Pittsburgh in the top of the second. Also no score with Colorado and Cincinnati. They're also in the second inning. The rest of the baseball still yet to happen. Serena Williams hopes to continue her final run at the U.S. Open tonight as she tangles with Croatia's Elijah Tomajic. Earlier today on the women's side, American Coco Gauff defeated fellow countryman Madison Keys in straight sets. This update presented by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items like equipment, trucks, and trailers? Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. Now get ready for Sports Nightly here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Snap back. Thompson has it. Now dancing with his feet, rolling out, looking for a man downfield. Going to take off and try to run with it. Now he scrambles back the other way. Looking, steps, throws downfield, has Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, makes the catch. 45 of Northwestern to the 40, weaves his way to the 35, 30, 25, 20, up to the bounds. My goodness, what a play. Casey Thompson.
Side set, Lindsey Krause, kaboom. 8-7, Nebraska set 2 after winning the first 5-2.
Snap back. They give it off to Grant, right side. He is in. Touchdown, Nebraska. And the Huskers have the lead back here in Ireland.
Pepperdine volleyball. Bumped over to the left. Aaron swings. Stuffed. Match point, Big Red. Keelan Hall. Kennedy Hall. 25-22. Nebraska wins it in 3.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are, Friday night. Great to be with you here tonight. So glad that you have chosen to spend a little bit of time with us tonight. Going to have some fun. We got a loaded show coming up in the next 2 hours. Going to hear Jeremiah Searles' latest podcast, get his thoughts about Husker football on the eve of their home opener tomorrow against the Fighting Hawks. The Chancellor, Ronnie Green, will be here. We are 2 weeks now into the new school year. We'll get his thoughts about all things UNL. That's also this hour. Kate Dean will be here. She works for the athletic department. Big celebrations coming up all year long about Title IX. We're going to honor one of Nebraska's great pioneers in helping women's sports develop over the weekend. We'll tell you more about that coming up in hour number 2. And fall ball began yesterday for Husker baseball. Will Bull will stop by to talk about a roster with a lot of new names on it. That's coming up in hour number 2. And we're going to make some picks tonight, Jessica, as the revenge tour continues.
You know what they say, Friday's a party show.
Well, yeah, it can be. Yes, it can.
I mean, but we have all the suspects for a great Friday party show.
We do.
Jeremiah Searles, Will Bolt,
That's
picks.
pretty good. Ronnie Green.
Ronnie Green. Oh, yeah. Now. I mean, he gets kilts and, I mean, yes, he is definitely the definition of the party.
Oh, I tell you what. Last night, a couple of those football games were amazing. Penn State-Purdue was phenomenal. The Backyard Brawl was a great game. Terrific football.
It really was. I mean, way to open up the show. West Virginia and Pitt and Purdue and Penn State.
Great. We've had 2 Big Ten games. Our game, obviously, 3-point game, and then that one last night, 4-point game. I think that's what we're in for. A lot of unbelievable games in Big Ten play.
I think so, too. And there's also a lot of unknown with a lot of teams, so it might take a while for some teams to be figured out as well. So it might keep things close there and some close battles at the beginning.
We have Sparty on now. I'm not expecting them to be pushed too much tonight by Western Michigan, but I am looking forward to Indiana, Illinois in about an hour in Bloomington. Big news today, Jessica, college football playoff news. A bunch of the chancellors had a meeting today and have passed it through an initial stage to expand the playoff to 12 teams. And folks, here's how it's going to work. According to this plan, and it could get tweaked, obviously, it would begin in 2026, so 4 years from now. The top 6 rated conference champions get an automatic bid. So if one year the Sun Belt has a team that's in the top 20 and they're higher than the champion of the Mountain West, they're going to get in.
Conference USA.
Conference USA, the Mountain West. They're all going to have a crack at being one of those 6 teams, and then the other 6 will be at-large bids that would get those.
It's about time. I mean, we've been hearing about this. People have been speculating, and I know the commissioners couldn't agree. So leave it to the chancellors and the presidents to say, hey, you guys can't get anything done. We'll take this over, and got something done. But something needed to happen, and leagues and schools needed to know the future of college football, and we're right around the corner about being too late of making a decision because this contract is coming up soon.
Right.
So something needed to be done, and I think everyone is for expansion and to continuing to evolve and make this game grow. And what can we do to do? I'm glad that they didn't go to 16 right away.
Me too.
I would have preferred 8, but 12 is fine. And then Notre Dame's not going to get a bye no matter what, right?
No, because the top 4 seeds will be the highest rated conference champions.
Right.
Will get the top 4. So Notre Dame's best could be a 5th. And what they'll do is the top 4 seeds would get a bye. Then 5 would play 12, 6 would play 11, much like your NCAA tournament bracket. And the higher seed team will get to host. So you're going to have some games in northern regions, whether it's Lincoln, Nebraska, Ann Arbor, Michigan, wherever. You're going to have some cold weather games. I love it. I think it's great. The one thing that I was a little disappointed, Jessica, it said that they will hold these 2 weeks after everybody's conference championship game. So they're not doing away with the conference championship game. So you've really added a lot onto the plate of some of these guys. They're looking for 2026, but they said they could expedite it and go 2024 with this thing. I think it's a great step forward for the sport.
Then you'd think they got to take away a non-conference game, right?
Oh, boy. I just don't know how you keep throwing kids out there like that.
I mean, you're adding an additional potential 3 games to some teams.
If you're 5 through 12 and make it all the way to the finals, yeah.
And because not everybody has a conference championship game either.
Nope.
So is that going to mean those conferences are going to have conference championship games?
Maybe, possibly.
Or so that's.
And again, the conference championship games are. And I'm doing the old money thing, folks. It's big money for the Big Ten or the Big 12 or the SEC, whoever it is. They make a lot of money off those games.
They do, but it's still not fair if not everybody is winning it outright with just winning it. If they're just winning because of the schedule matchups head-to-head and not going to win a conference championship game when everybody else does, to me that doesn't seem fair. I still think there's got to be some tweaks being made.
And I'm sure there will be.
Yeah.
Well, like who's going to televise it? I mean, I think you have to split it up. I think you have to have Fox have a finger in it and at least a part of the games.
Yes.
Even if it's just the first weekend, they've got to have a hand in this thing.
Yeah, I saw they're going to ESPN's still going to get the next 2 years till it recycles and they start working on the next contract. But it made it sound like to me that it's not going straight to ESPN, the entire 12-team playoff.
A lot of games. And again, maybe players are all up for it, but we've seen so many players who've opted out of bowl games because they don't want to put their pro career at risk, and I get that. That's where all the money is for them.
I think they're going to have to fix something, or that's going to keep being the case. There's no way when we already are having these issues. Now, maybe you don't see opt-outs for the college football playoff. Maybe that helps in that regard, too, and maybe that's what they're thinking. Oh, well, if more teams are competing, maybe you have less of those opt-outs. What does that mean for, say, the Cotton Bowl? Is it still going to rotate between the Cotton Bowl, the Rose Bowl?
They've got to work all that out, but they think the semifinals will stay with big bowls. They'll rotate probably through those New Year's Six bowls. What will be interesting, Jessica, let's say you're seed 11, and so you go on the road and you play and lose, then you're done. You get no bowl experience for the teams. If you're outside the 12, you can still go to a bowl game and have a pretty good time and a pretty good week. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you obviously want to try to win a national title, but Team 13 or 15 could go to a nice little bowl destination and have a week in the sun during the winter. Interesting how this could play out as we move through.
I wonder if you could still tweak it to where some of those teams could still qualify for a bowl game.
Maybe, but then you're adding another game, and so.
But you'd still be playing another game anyways if you won.
True.
So if you don't win, then you qualify for another. Maybe that's how, kind of like
the losers
bracket.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get to go to the Sun Bowl or something like that.
Yep.
Well, it was a big step today because these were the chancellors and presidents from a handful of schools, including Ohio State's president. She was involved in the meeting today, and so she overruled her commissioner because Kevin Warren turned down this 12-team format within the last year. It was when it got voted down by a lot of the commissioners. But it's interesting thing, and I think probably really healthy for the sport moving forward. All right, busy show, as we mentioned, 402-413-2400. That's our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com. Anytime. We have 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned that you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Let's head out to North Platte and talk to Jim first. Good evening, Jim. Welcome to the program.
Well, good evening. I want to thank you both for even taking my call. I've got a comment, and then I've got a great big question. And my comment is, well, Nebraska needs a good running game and a good solid defense to win games. Here's my question. Why does all sports have to be all about money, 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 money?
Yeah, it's a great question, Jim. And, you know, that's the one thing that college sports for years could kind of avoid. But, boy, in the last 25, 30 years, it has really taken over and almost become kind of a minor leagues to the NBA or the NFL or those type of things. I wish it wasn't that way, but it is, and I don't think it's going to change. I think money has certainly gotten a hold of college sports, and it is no doubt a big money-making business. And you're right, Jim. Huskers, I think tomorrow, one of the things, Jessica, that Scott Frost will want to see is a more consistent running game and better job of the defense of stopping a running attack tomorrow.
Absolutely. We've heard all week talking to players and hearing from coaches. There were some positives that they were able to see on film from the first game, but there's also a lot of things that they need to improve, and they attack those things. They learn from it, and we'll see. That's going to be one of my keys tomorrow, is how are they going to build off of what they saw that they needed to improve upon, because we heard that all week. I sat down with Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda, and he said a similar messaging from players about, okay, we watched the film. We know the areas that we got to improve. So how are they going to apply those improvements in a game come Saturday, come tomorrow? All
right, we'll get Jeremiah's thoughts coming up here in just a little bit. Jim, appreciate the phone call. 402-413-2400. The text line also open for you as well. We're back with more of the show next.
This is University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Colton Husa with Campus News. 26 Husker students participated in the Rural Fellows Learning Program. It's a 10-week summer internship across 16 Nebraska communities. Students work with local leaders to plan and execute community improvement projects. Past projects include water system improvements in Wahoo, early childhood education access in Ord, and farmers market and music festival management in Imperial.
Tomorrow, join us for another jam-packed day of Huskers football as Nebraska takes on North Dakota. Our coverage begins with Ben McLaughlin and Huskers great Brendan Sty on Huskers game day at 10:30 a.m., followed by countdown to kickoff at 12:30 p.m. Greg Sharpe and Matt Davison will give you all the play-by-play from kickoff at 2:40 through the final whistle before they hand things off to Bill Dolman and Huskers great Jay Foreman for the fifth quarter show. Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody will talk to Scott Frost and Huskers players in the head coach and locker room shows before Matt Coatney and Jay Foreman wrap things up with your calls on Big Red Reaction. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
The Mazda lineup of SUVs will provide safety, performance, and capability on your journey ahead. From the 3-row Mazda CX-9 to the first ever Mazda CX-50, our sales team is ready to guide you to the SUV for your lifestyle. Shop the Omaha Metro's exclusive Mazda dealers at Woodhouse Mazda in Bellevue or Woodhouse Place Mazda. Visit us online for your next Mazda SUV at woodhousemazda.com.
Successful farmers must make good decisions every day. In Pivot Irrigation, the choice is simple. T&L exclusive hydraulically powered pivot irrigation systems are like no other. You get tough, reliable, and cost-effective irrigation. Let T&L's 60 years of irrigation experience work for you. Call your local T&L dealer or T&L Irrigation Company today. T&L, like no other.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
Every day, Central Valley Ag Cooperative works with our farmers to feed the globe. Embracing the cooperative spirit, CVA's innovative products and services in grain, agronomy, feed, and energy deliver world-class value to our members. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how we grow agriculture together at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your premier John Deere dealership and proud partner of Nebraska Athletics. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. We've had an interesting week from the standpoint that we had Trev Albert's athletic director's show followed by a football show on Wednesday. No show last night because of the volleyball match. And then the John Cook hour on Tuesday night. We haven't had a lot of time just to kind of do other things. Well, tonight we get a chance to do a lot of other things, and that includes hearing from our pal Jeremiah Searles.
Yeah, so the latest episode of the Sideline Slice, we dove into the loss in Dublin and some of his positive and negatives, but then also looked ahead. So here is a portion of this week's Sideline Slice presented by Valentino's Pizza. Let's get into it, shall we? I tasked you with picking 3 positives and 3 negatives, or 3 things to build on, I guess, improve at. So where do you want to start? You want to go negative or positive first?
Let's start positive.
Let's
start with the happy thoughts.
All right, give me your 3 positives from the game.
Yeah, you know, my 3 positives are, the first is a fast start on the Husker offense, right? We all knew that what we saw in spring at the spring football game was not going to be what this whole offense was going to be, that we held back. You know, so you come out the gate, and you firing on all cylinders. You had 4 different receivers catch the football. You had Garcia Castaneda, you had Trey Palmer, Travis Vokalek, Marcus Washington, all caught big passes on that drive, and then ultimately the long pass for the touchdown. You know, so I think that you had Casey Thompson out there spitting it really well. You got in a rhythm really early, and that was good to see because there was times last year that we really just did not start fast. And you want to start fast, especially in the Big Ten. Get a lead, get a little bit of a healthy lead, and take some pressure off your defense right away. You know, so that's a really good positive. The other thing is there was just one penalty in the game. You know, just one penalty. You're going to win a lot of football games if you don't create self-inflicting wounds, which is penalties and dumb penalties, right? Offsides or personal fouls or any of that. There was none of the procedural stuff that really flared its other ugly head besides the one penalty there. And then the last thing is I thought our punting was excellent, and we made all our extra points. You know, that's something that may seem like a very small thing, but that was a very big thing last year that cost us football games. So, you know, those are all steps in the right direction. Those are all things that were positives. You know, it's easy to think that, like we talked about, the sky is falling, but, you know, it's a week 0, and this is a team that has a lot of high expectations. But let's be honest, this was a 3-win team last year. You know, there's a lot of growth that needs to come to make it's really hard to go from a 3-win to just an 11-win team all of a sudden. There's growth that needs to happen. So, you know, there was growth in those areas, but now there's also things that weren't so good that need a little bit more growth as well.
All right, so let's get into it. What were your 3 big things that have to improve for this football team?
Man, the number one thing for me, and the thing we talked about a lot, Jessica, we thought it was going to be a little bit of a strength here, was just the lack of pass rush. I mean, we let that quarterback sit back there like he was Peyton Manning and just dink and dunk us and carve us up because no one was at his feet. Now, I get it. Peter Skoronski, the left tackle for the Cats, is a phenomenal player, and he's going to play in the NFL. But, you know, you think about guys like Caleb Tanner and Garrett Nelson, 2 team captains, and then you add O'Shawn Mathis over there, and you're thinking, okay, these guys are going to be able to generate some pressure. I mean, hits, hurries, sacks, those type of things, and there just was none of that. And, you know, that's going to be a big problem because if you recall last year, Purdue, we talked about on the podcast, you know, Purdue did the same thing to us. They kind of just dink and dunked us. And when you have a back end that's brand new, I mean, you lose Cam Taylor-Britt, you lose Markel Dismuke, you lose all these guys on the back end. You've got new guys back there that are still trying to get their feet wet. They're not going to be as aggressive or be able to be up in that tight coverage, especially in week 1. You want to make sure that there's some tips and overthrows and hurries, and there just was none of that. And so that's going to be a big problem. Something that's got to get fixed because the other flip side of that is when you have the young back end like that, it's really hard to dial up pressure because then you are putting those guys in an island. You are putting those guys on kind of more of not exactly equal playing field, more of a detriment. And so Chins is going to have to kind of decide now, do I let these guys up front figure it out, or do I have to start dialing up these pressures to make things happen? You know, okay, second negative there for me is 110 yards rushing is just not going to cut it. I don't care if we're playing in the Big 12, the MAC, the freaking Division II school down the street. You cannot win football games rushing the ball for 110 yards. That's just not a thing, especially with this running back room. I mean, holy cow. You talk about some really good players in this running back room. It's one of the deepest running back rooms that I've seen in the last 5 years. You got Grant, you got A.J. Allen, you've got Ramir Johnson, you've got all these guys that are just back there ready to rock, and we just couldn't generate enough push up front. You know, and that's not okay. You got to be able to push guys around. This is a grown man league. You got to be able to point and say, hey, I'm moving this guy from point A to point B against his will, and we're going to do it over and over and over again. And so that's just really a bit of an issue there. And then, you know, the last thing for me is the halftime adjustments. You know, and this goes for really all of it. It's from the coaching staff all the way down to the players being able to take halftime adjustments and implement them on the field. You know, I think Northwestern went into halftime and made some really good adjustments on defense to try and figure out, okay, hey, this is what Mark Whipple's offense is. This is how we're going to do this. They came out and they applied those adjustments from the meeting room to the field very quickly. And I don't think we did a great job of that. You know, I don't think we did a great job of taking the adjustments at halftime or what was made at halftime to come out and try and combat that. And you really saw that in the third quarter. You know, I think Northwestern caught us off rhythm, and then they were able to get our defense on their heels a little bit with a little bit of change up in the running game. So, you know, those things need to get better. Our halftime adjustments need to be able to be not detriments, but they need to be assets so that we can come out and pour it on them in the third quarter, because through Scott Frost's entire coaching career, the third quarter has been really tough on us. And really, you win games in the third quarter. The fourth quarter is more about game control. The third quarter, in my opinion, is the most important one because that's where you can really set the tone for how you want to end the game.
I did want to talk to you about Travis Vokalek because filling the role of Austin Allen. Austin Allen was such a weapon last year, and we knew it was going to be Travis's time. And boy, he showed that he can be absolutely, a weapon. And even Scott Frost said he potentially could be even better than Austin Allen. And so, and Casey Thompson really just, you could tell they were really in sync and in rhythm. And it's just a piece of an offense that defenses have such a problem with. And so even he goes out hurt, hopefully he will be back. He said he will be back, but I mean, I think he showed that he could potentially be a pretty good weapon for this offense.
Oh, absolutely. And not just in the pass game. He was really good in the blocking game. I know all of you are like, oh, yeah, block. No, he was very good in blocking. I mean, he was ejecting linebackers, and he was moving defensive linemen. And when you have a tight end that you can put at the point of attack and run behind, it just screws the numbers up for the defense so much because they always assume if the tight end's front side on a run game that defensive lineman is just going to win that matchup, and that's going to get the stonewall there. Not with Travis Vokalek, and he played extremely well in the run game. Big target in the pass game. He had some big catches, so I really hope his injury isn't too bad. I hope he can get back out there. I mean, honestly, if he doesn't play this week, I don't think it's the end of the world. Get him healthy, get him ready to go for the stretch here in a couple of weeks. But again, you hope that he can be back right away because the way he was playing, I mean, he's looking like an NFL tight end, and that's a huge thing for this offense as well.
All right, let's close the chapter on Northwestern.
Yes.
North Dakota, what do you know about them?
I don't know a whole lot about them. I know they're an FCS opponent. I know that they should come in here and take their money, take their licks, take their beating, and go home. That should be what this game is. This should be a tune-up game for the Huskers. This should be a feel-good game. You get some young players in. Now, I say all that. This is also this team's Super Bowl. I played FCS opponents. This is this team's Super Bowl. They will never play in a bigger crowd. They may never play in front of a bigger stadium in the rest of their entire career. This is this team's Super Bowl. They have had this game circled on their schedule for the last 6 to 8 months. So they're going to give it their best shot. They're going to empty the chamber. We might see an onside kick from them. They're going to not hold anything back in this game. So we have to be ready for that. But at the same time, the talent gap should be so vastly different in this game that we should be able to go out there, run whatever we want on offense and score, run whatever we want on defense and score, and get some confidence and some swagger back on both sides of the football here as we start looking towards next week and Oklahoma after that.
You think about it, it's the first home game, home opener, and there's a lot of players that are going to be running out into that stadium for the first time. A guy like O'Shawn Mathis, Tommy Hill, Marcus Washington, who he told me he cannot wait, Casey Thompson, all these players. Yeah, they got a taste of the spring game, but there's nothing like a game day inside Memorial Stadium. So, I mean, take me back to your first time running out onto that field, just how special and probably overwhelming it was, too.
Yeah, it's extremely emotional. I mean, it's a very emotional thing. I mean, you start in the locker room and you hear the tunnel walk music start, and you can kind of just feel the crowd. You just feel the energy. You feel the crowd. You come through the tunnel walk, and it's screaming and it's yelling. Then the gates open, and you're staring right there at the student section, and there's the red letters above, I play for Nebraska, and you run out, and, I get goosebumps right now just even thinking about it. But, it's just one of those things that emotionally you will never be more charged up than in that moment. I played in front of hundreds of thousands of people at the Horseshoe. I've played in NFL stadiums. Like, there is no place like running out in front of the home stands of Nebraska that make a special entrance. This is the coolest entrance in college football. These kids, I hope that they really enjoy it. I hope they get a second to take it all in. And then Husker fans, I hope you're loud, and I hope you're really ready to go, because this team's going to need your support to make sure that they can get over this little bit of a hiccup that we had in week 0.
All right, so again, it's going to be about Nebraska, right, and what they do. So who are your players to watch? I got to assume it's more so how do they respond from what happened last week, right?
Yeah, my players to watch are it's going to be a little interesting here. I really want to watch how Ty Robinson and Feast and that front three of the Nebraska defensive line, they got their hands in the ground, respond to getting ran at last week. I think those guys are going to be challenged this week. I think of a guy like Jason Peters, who's been around the program. I promise you he had some choice words for them after this game. I mean, he's a guy that takes a lot of pride in being a black shirt and a lot of pride in being a D lineman. So I'll be really curious to see how those guys up front on the defensive line come out and get fired up. And then on the back end, I'm really curious to see who separates themselves in this running back room. Obviously, Grant had the big hand and the big game last week, but I think that there's still a really good chance for RB2 with Gabe Ervin and Ramir Johnson, A.J. Allen, like Mark Jacquez-Yant. Like there's so many opportunities for RB2 to get brought up that I'd really like to see kind of going into league play. I'd like to have 2 or 3 guys that are the guys. So the running back room and the defensive line are kind of my communal watches this week. I don't have necessarily specifics yet because I still think we're trying to figure out who those guys are.
Right.
But those 2 positions are going to be big this week.
So that is just a small portion of the Sideline Slice with Searles this week. The full episode you can see now on our YouTube platforms or listen on our podcast platforms. And that, as always, is brought to you by Valentino's, the official pizza of the Huskers.
Had a little Valentino's the other day at the press gathering. It was really nice to get back into some Valentino's. Good to see Jeremiah. I know he's pumped for a little home opener. Everybody is. I think people are excited to see this team play the next 3 weeks here at home. And weather's going to be okay. It's hot today, but it's going to be better tomorrow.
A little muggy, too, but mid-80s, I can handle mid-80s.
Yep. Be nice down on the sidelines for that. Great to hear from Jeremiah. When we come back, we're going to sit down with the Chancellor from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, Ronnie Green. That is coming up next.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event.
Just move on up.
Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged Sales Event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up.
The name of our new promotion says it all. Powerball First Millionaire of the Year. Through September 12th, buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket at any Nebraska Lottery retailer and enter the voucher number to win a trip to New York City for New Year's Eve on December 31st, 2022. Plus, you'll also get a chance to win $1 million and become the Powerball First Millionaire of 2023. Remember, this promotion ends on September 12th, so plan ahead and play today. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Let Shelter Insurance get you in the game this football season. The Nebraska Huskers are gearing up for another big year, and this is your chance to win tickets from Shelter Insurance and the Husker Radio Network. Contact a Nebraska Shelter agent, and they'll register you for a chance to win tickets to one of 4 home football games this season. Only Shelter agents can register you, so call, email, or drop by for your chance to win. Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com/Huskers and ask them to register you to win.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics, research, and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
I'm so glad we called SOS. RAC is the coldest.
I'm always the coldest.
SOS to the rescue.
Hey, this is Dakota Crawford, wide receiver from Louisiana, now playing in Lincoln. When your AC isn't the coldest, you call SOS Heating and Cooling. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition guaranteed. Take it from the coldest. We will keep you cool this summer.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hi, thanks for telling my family and me about Toyota's national sales event.
Oh, you're welcome.
We got a new RAV4 during the event, and it's been great.
Well, that makes me happy. Right now through September 6th, it is the best time to drive off in a new Camry Hybrid, Tacoma, and more. So what are you up to?
You know, we took the RAV4 to a great spot. We've hiked, rafted, and now we're exploring a cave.
Amazing. You're inside a cave right now?
Yep.
Well, I'm glad the RAV4 could make it all happen.
Yeah, my wife talked me into spelunking. I'm actually a complete and absolute amateur. Huh, I could have done without the echo on that.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Visit your participating Toyota dealer today to enjoy every last second of summer. Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 6th.
Hey, Husker fans, it's time to gear up for the season. So let's do it right. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and more. Shields has everything you need to show your Nebraska pride. Visit our fan shop online or in-store for the biggest and best brands in the game. You'll find the right gear to level up your team spirit with all the essentials for your pregame parking lot party. Shields, proud partner of Husker Athletics and football fans everywhere.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. And what a treat for us to have in studio with us the Chancellor of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, Ronnie Green. Last time I saw you, we were not in this country. We were over in Dublin, Ireland. How was your trip, minus the end of the football game?
Hey, it was a great trip. You know, we don't get that opportunity very often. We talked about it when we were in Dublin last week, that it's only the second time in recent memory and it's a while back that the Huskers have gotten to play outside the country for an official game. So a way to kick off the season in Dublin. We've been looking forward to it for almost 3 years. Finally came around and had the opportunity to do it. I think our students learned a lot. I think we showed Dublin what traveling fans means when Husker Nation showed up in the numbers that it did. Don't know what the final numbers were, but it looked like it was about 4-1 in that category against Northwestern, and just a great trip overall. Irish people are some of the most hospitable in the world, and we certainly saw that from our Huskers that were over in Dublin for the week.
But now we're back, and I know you're glad. I'm really glad to be back in the stadium for the next month with 4 straight home games. I bet you're looking forward to these next 4.
We sure are. You know, we have a pretty long stretch, right, going into early October, being at home and have a bye week stuck in there in the latter part of the month. So looking forward to these next 3 straight weeks, 3 games coming up here in Memorial Stadium, and seeing Husker Nation back together again for those games. And then we got volleyball as well, and women's soccer competing. Volleyball team had a great kickoff weekend last weekend here, and all of their matches in September are here in Nebraska, with the exception of one, a big match with Kentucky later in September. But lots for our fans to be able to see and participate in, being back together as a group. You know, that's another one of the things that felt so good in Dublin, was just to be able to be with people and be normal, right? So looking forward to a great month of September.
Chancellor, we get a chance to see the updated progress on the Go Big project right outside our window here, and it's made amazing advancements since the spring game. I'm looking forward for our fans to get here on campus over the weekend and see all the progress there. But you've got other projects going on campus as well. Lots of building happening around here.
Yeah, I'm reminded back 6 or 7 years ago when I first started in this job that we talked about we'd just come out of a time what we called the era of the cranes in downtown Lincoln. It's when we were building our business building here on campus. It's when we were building PBA, finishing up the building of PBA and Haymarket, and so much activity in downtown Lincoln. We kind of are back to that again, right? So when you drive into downtown Lincoln, when our fans come in this weekend for the game, they're going to see cranes again all over downtown. It looks a lot like it did in 2014 and 15. On campus here, we just opened Carolyn Pope Edwards Hall that's being used for its first term. We'll officially cut the ribbon on it here in a couple of weeks for the College of Education and Human Sciences. Brand new facility for our Teachers College, particularly early childhood education and teacher learning and teacher education, that's now open here on 14th Street, just down the way from us. The Keywood Hall project in engineering, just today we signed the beam that is the top beam going up on that structure over a little bit further east for the College of Engineering. Largest privately funded project in the history of the university, $115 million new instructional facility for the College of Engineering. Our law library, completely renovated and open for the College of Law. This fall, Architecture Hall, the oldest building on our campus, the original library of the University of Nebraska, just redesigned for design studios and what was the library for architecture. Now is 3 big new design studios for the College of Architecture that they're enjoying a lot there. And the list just goes on and on of projects that we have either underway, under construction, almost $1 billion of construction on our campuses here at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
Wonderful. Just adding to what is already just such a beautiful campus. Again, visiting with University of Nebraska-Lincoln Chancellor Ronnie Green here on Sports On. A lot of top-notch programs in the university as well. I want to get your thoughts about one of those, and it's preparing Husker students for work in my industry, the sports media industry. What makes this program unique?
Yeah, Greg, we're pretty proud of this. Our journalism college, the College of Journalism and Mass Communications, just a few years ago, I think this is our 3rd year in this new major and in the J School that is sports media and communications. It's unique. It's the only program like it in the country. There's a few other institutions that have like certificate programs or specialization programs, but no one else offers a major, full-blown major in sports media and communications like this. It has been very rapidly taken up by a lot of students. We now have several hundred majors in that sports media and comm area. And I should add, there's been a lot of talk around about USC and UCLA joining the Big Ten here in 2024. Big news in the conference, certainly, and in the intercollegiate sports world. They don't even have a program in this area. USC is pretty known for their work in this area, but they don't have a program. So very proud of it. It's a great opportunity for our students. And so all the sports fans that are out there listening on Sports Nightly, if you know someone that has a passion for sports and reporting on sports and have strengths in writing and talking about it, this would be a major for them to consider here at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln in our J School.
I've already spoken to one of those classes this week. I see them at press conferences, at games. It's a terrific program, and I applaud all of that. They get a chance to really experience Memorial Stadium on game days in a big way. Another group of students who get to experience game days is our marching band, and I know you're excited to see the band get out there and do their performances.
Absolutely. The Cornhusker Marching Band, the pride of all Nebraska, 300-member strong band. You know when school is gearing up to start, right? Because you hear on campus the band tryouts happening, which really start 2 weeks before the semester starts. When students come in, they go through warm-ups and preparation for tryouts for the Cornhusker Marching Band. Those happen then that week before class. And then just a little over a week ago, the Friday before classes started, they had their exhibition, their band camp exhibition in Memorial Stadium. And I've never seen anything like it, Greg. The whole West Stadium lower deck all the way up was full, completely full for that exhibition of the band. They've got a great year ahead. I wish they could have all gone to Dublin. You know, we weren't able to have that as part of the package. We had a pep band of about 50 there that was great to see, but really looking forward to these students on the field this fall. We have 4 drum majors that I wanted to kind of call out for their leadership that you'll see this fall. Matt Jackson from Ceresco, Ian Maltus from here in Lincoln, Stephanie Nolda from North Platte, and Catherine Schmidt from Lincoln will be the ones with the big sticks coming down the field. So looking forward to their performances here in these next 3 home games in September.
Fantastic. Chancellor, always good to see you. Thank you so much. Let's have a good weekend.
Looking forward to it. It's so great to be back in session. And, you know, I wasn't here last week for the first week with the Dublin event, but seeing students engaged at the level that's unlike what we've seen for the last 3 years is just absolutely super. I can't tell you how good that feels for us to be back, and as always, go Big Red.
There he is, Ronnie Green, with us here on Sports Nightly. Time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Back with more Sports Nightly next.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Backed by popular demand, Hy-Vee drive-through flu shot clinics. Just follow the signs in your Hy-Vee parking lot to get your flu shot right from your car. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment or prescription is necessary. Drive-through flu shots are offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Or get your flu shot inside your Hy-Vee pharmacy at any time with no appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. Some restrictions apply.
Well, if the Huskers return the first or second half opening kickoff for a touchdown, you could win a $54,000 credit on a new vehicle from Woodhouse Auto Family Dealership this season. This week's contestant is Katie Beacom from Arlington, Nebraska. Go, Katie. If you want to get yourself registered for future weeks, go to huskers.com/Woodhouse for official rules and how to enter. We are going to return a kickoff for a touchdown this year.
But it's got to be the opening kickoff?
True. Yes. But we're going to bring one back. It may not be the opening kickoff, and I'm not calling my shot that it's tomorrow, but I just think Trey or Anthony is going to bust one.
Yeah.
I really do.
And there were a couple times last week that I know you guys had obviously a better vantage
Trey
point.
had one of the last ones.
You felt like that if you get one more block that he's gone.
He could have been gone.
So hopefully they get that worked out.
Yeah, and I think he wants. I know he. That's like his dream to do that again.
Of all the people that we're talking about, want to see how they respond. Trey is the one to me that I'm really, really curious because he was absolutely explosive during fall camp, and there's no doubt he is one of Casey, if not Casey's most favorite target, right? But he had a couple drop passes, and I think he got a little bit frustrated, and then there was a PI call that should have happened, right?
Totally.
And then
he got free loot, and Casey just missed him.
Yes, and so there were just I think 3 big-time plays that could have happened for him that really could have blown this thing open.
Catches, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but I think those big plays that he was frustrated with himself. You could tell he expects more from himself. And I think Mickey Joseph expects more from him too. And so I think he was pretty disappointed in a couple of those. And then also, not just that, also with the return game too. I think he wants to be and do better. And it wasn't all him, obviously, but he wants to provide a spark in that area. So I can't wait to see how he responds.
Yeah. Anthony Grant also, I think, has the ability to pop a big one as well. I think we could see something tomorrow in the kick game for Nebraska. I really do. Volleyball last night stayed undefeated. In fact, Loyola is playing Ole Miss right now. They won the first set at the Devaney Center, so Loyola's up 1-0 on Ole Miss. Huskers will play the Rebels tomorrow night at 7 at the Devaney Center. Whoa!
Yeah.
Nebraska played a 6-2. They played 2 setters last night.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something happened here with. Did Michigan State, did they just go up 14-3?
They did.
Okay.
They've been up.
Yeah, 6-2. You
Played
texted
the
me that,
6-2.
and yeah, how about Nicklin setting again?
Wow. I don't know what to make of that. I know that was a buzz afterwards. Coach Cook talked about it afterwards. You heard Lauren talking about it in the pregame.
Yeah, that what they were going to do and trying to, I think too, also because, when I did the show with him, just trying to, right now when he can, figure out, players, rotations, depth, getting some people some experience, what works, what doesn't work. Maybe a 6-2 works better down the road. Who knows? Again, in a matchup. But I think he's just, trying to figure out the lineup. And remember last year, it took a while for them to figure out the correct lineup that they really felt the most comfortable with. So I think right now he's trying to figure some things out.
3 losses by mid-September. People were in panic mode.
Yeah.
Then they end up in the national championship game. So don't give up on. I think there's some experimenting going on there. I think the mad scientist is in there trying to cook up a new formula. I think that's what John Cook's doing.
I'm never going to doubt Coach Cook.
No, yeah. All right, they'll play tomorrow night, 7 o'clock against Ole Miss. Again, Ole Miss down 1-0 to Loyola as they play out to the Devaney Center tonight. Interesting if that holds up out there. Husker Athletics offering a cool Big Ten mini ticket plan for football. For $200, it'll get you a ticket to all 4 Big Ten home games. Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin. If you have an interest in that, go visit Huskers.com/tickets. Hour 1, where'd that go? It's over. Hour 2 coming up next. Come on back with us.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sapbros.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
Tired of worrying about what to make for dinner? Try Gary's Quick Steak. It's delicious, convenient, and easy to make in minutes as it cooks from frozen. It also has over 20 grams of protein per serving, is gluten-free, and is made with real beef and chicken. Enjoy sandwiches, enchiladas, stir-fry, quality sirloin, chicken, and corned beef ready in minutes. Simply sizzle, flip, and savor.
I promise you, if you try it, you're absolutely going to love it.
Visit our website to find a store near you.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Students in Nebraska's Rake School of Computer Science and Management created software that is saving a Nebraska e-commerce company 34,000 hours of work per year. Created by a group of 5 Rake School students for their Design Studio Capstone project, this software is one of 300 real-world software solutions created by Rake School students.
With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Greg Sharpe. Huskers have their home opener tomorrow against the Fighting Hawks from North Dakota. After yesterday's practice, head coach Scott Frost met with the media and was asked about getting the guys back and playing at home in front of the home folks at Memorial Stadium, and if he thought that might supercharge the team.
Honestly, as good as the fans show up and support these kids, I don't think you have to talk to them about it much because they'll feed off the energy of the crowd. But, we're going to get to be at home for a while here now, and we need to make sure we play well when we're here.
Kickoff tomorrow set for 2:30. Our pregame coverage on the network begins at 10:30 with Husker Game Day. A couple of games in college football tonight involving Big Ten teams. Michigan State all over Western Michigan 21-3 early second quarter, and they are about to kick off a conference game, the third conference game of the year already in Bloomington, Indiana, as the Hoosiers host the Fighting Illini. Some Major League Baseball underway. The Royals lead the Tigers 2-0 in the fourth inning. Also in the fourth, it's 2-0 Toronto over Pittsburgh. 2-1, the Rockies lead the Reds. They are in the bottom of the fifth. Top of the fourth, Baltimore 2, Oakland nothing. The Mets lead the Nationals 2-1 in the top of the third. The Mariners blanking the Guardians 3-0 in the third inning. Rangers, Red Sox 1-1 top of the third. And the Yankees, Rays, no score there in the third inning. It's Miami 1, Atlanta nothing, bottom of the third. And other games still to be played around baseball later tonight. Serena Williams hoping to continue her finals run at the U.S. Open is underway. She's late first set in her match. Earlier today, a battle of fellow Americans. Coco Gauff defeated Madison Keys in straight sets, the 12-seeded Gauff on to the fourth round. This update presented by Currency. Does your business need your help financing big-ticket items like equipments, trucks, and trailers? Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. Now get ready. More Sports Nightly coming your way here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Snap back. Thompson has it. Now dancing with his feet, rolling out, looking for a man downfield. Going to take off and try to run with it. Now he scrambles back the other way. Looking, steps, throws downfield, has Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, makes a catch. 45 of Northwestern to the 40, weaves his way to the 35, 30, 25, 20, bumped out of bounds. My goodness, what a play. Casey Thompson.
Side set, Lindsey Krause, kaboom. 8-7, Nebraska set 2 after winning the first 5-2.
Snap back. They give it off to Grant, right side. He is in. Touchdown, Nebraska. And the Huskers have the lead back here in Ireland.
Pepperdine volleyball. Bumped over to the left. Aaron swings. Stuffed. Match point, Big Red. Keelan Hall. Kennedy Hall. 25-22. Nebraska wins it in 3.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are back with hour number 2. Final hour of the night, final hour of the week of Sports Nightly. A busy hour coming up here. We're going to talk about the Title IX celebrations that Nebraska is going to be putting on throughout the year, commemorating the 50th anniversary of that landmark legislation that really spurred female sports in this country. We'll hear from Kate Dean, who works in the athletic department here in just a couple of minutes. Fall ball began for Will Bolt's Huskers yesterday. They had their first practice at Haymarket Park. We'll hear from the head coach coming up. He really did a roster makeover in the offseason. We'll hear all about that from him this hour. And we've got the Choices Treatment Center picks coming your way later on in the hour as well. But Title IX, we've talked about it quite a bit. The legislation was signed in June of 1972, so we've had a couple of months of that. But at each football game, right, this year they're going to honor somebody from Nebraska's past.
Yes, so Barb Hibner will be honored this Saturday. It's really a neat initiative, but it's not just there. There's a lot of things. We've been talking about this throughout the summer, about all the events and the things that are being planned surrounding the 50th anniversary of Title IX. Kate Dean is part of the committee that is helping to plan this, and so she joined us here to talk a little bit about that, and also to talk about it was announced on Wednesday, but to talk about the big More is Possible rally that's coming up as well. So here is Kate Dean. tell Husker fans and listeners what your role is and what your job is, and a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so a brief background on me. I started working in athletics as a student here at UNL in 2018. I worked in our communications department for 3 years, and so then in 2021 when I graduated from UNL, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do something that involved people, public relations, something external. And lucky for me, that happened to be in athletics. So last September, I started working in community relations, and I've been doing that for about a year now. So like you said, I am our Assistant Director of Community and Charitable Relations, and a lot of the work I do is with nonprofit organizations, government agencies, military groups, but the biggest group I would say that I work with is Husker fans. So I think that's just, I'm so honored to be able to do that every day as a Husker fan myself. It's a really great opportunity, and yeah, I love my job.
I was going to say, growing up in Lincoln, you had no choice, right, but to be a Husker fan?
No, it's all I've known, so I fit the bill well.
And you do so much work behind the scenes. I mean, you're constantly setting stuff up for everybody. Coaches go do an event. A lot of times it's you that's helping set that up. So, and just the reach that you are able to have, and even the staff and some of the coaches to be able to go speak to some of these groups, and you mentioned the nonprofit organizations, it's got to be really rewarding to be able to kind of bridge those gaps and be the liaison between and setting those things up.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's kind of how I explain my position as the liaison between athletics and the broader Husker community. And I've realized just how big it is. Like, I've worked with groups, like a lot of times I'm working with soldiers who are stationed overseas, and I just got a message from one in Poland who wants to go to the game in Ireland.
Wow.
Stuff like that. And then just nonprofits from across the country who want an autographed poster from one of our coaches. So you really see the reach that we have across the country and across the world. And yeah, like you said, the direct impact that I get to see working with our fans, working with someone who's never been to a Husker football game and just wants to see, you know, the team play for the first time and getting to see their reaction. It's so rewarding, and yeah, it's a great gig.
That's amazing. Okay, so let's talk a little Title IX, and you've been on the committee from the start, and I know it's been going on for a long time. So kind of take us back to the beginning of the Title IX talks and how it kind of came about of what Nebraska athletics wanted to do.
Yeah, so we decided internally that we needed to come up with something. 50 years is a huge milestone, and Nebraska's, you know, we're always known for doing a little more, I would say. So we got together in the early stages and just kind of brainstorming, throwing out ideas. I know you're working on a lot of content. I was tasked early on with coming up with kind of the history of Title IX, working on the website. And then as it's progressed, we've talked more and more about how we can involve the community. And I think that's kind of where I come in, is how can we get more and more people involved in this effort, because it's so important to, you know, incorporate people from all backgrounds in order to, you know, increase the longevity of Title IX, because it requires everyone. It's not just something that can be stagnant and we can just sit there and expect Title IX to last forever. You know, we have to include male athletes, youth athletes and coaches, university leadership, elected officials. Like, it takes everyone. So that's kind of been my role on this committee, and we're looking forward to creating those events for our fans and for everyone in the community as well.
You guys have been meeting for a while. I've been to a couple of them, but a lot of times the discussion turns to some of the former student athletes or former women that are around Nebraska and who we want to make sure that we honor during this time. And it's really been, I mean, I've learned a lot, you know, the couple times that I've been to. So is there a story or an athlete, a former athlete, or somebody that you really have learned about and been inspired by hearing about their history?
Oh, definitely. So like I kind of mentioned, I was working on the history and timeline for Title IX, and I learned a lot about Louise Pound. She was an absolute stud back in the late 19th century. She grew up in Lincoln, went to the University of Nebraska, and was a golfer, a tennis player. She won like a boys championship in tennis, coached the basketball team, which was one of the first teams to travel and compete. And she is just like, before any of this was even a conversation about women being even on an equal playing field as men, she was kind of doing it on her own. And she was also just such an intelligent woman. Like, she was a professor, studied in Germany, I believe, just a very diverse, you know, educational leader. And yeah, to see it go all the way back from her over 100 years ago to where we are now, it's truly amazing.
It's so cool. Yeah, I mean, just the names that have come up, there are definitely some really awesome women that have helped pave the way for sports. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things we've got coming up. We have some games with some sports, but the big event that we wanted to announce today that I know you've been working really, really hard on. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's called the More is Possible Rally, and it's going to be on October 8th at Bolin Stadium ahead of our Big Red Fall Classic for our softball teams. So we invite everyone to come out to the stadium beforehand, and we're going to have tents set up. Hopefully each of our women's athletics teams will have a booth, and you can meet their student athletes, play games with them, win prizes, just kind of interact with the student athletes, learn more about how Title IX has impacted them in their programs, and then have food, drinks, hang out, play some games, and then go enjoy the softball game at 3 o'clock.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and also a chance to celebrate the success of our softball program.
Absolutely, which coming off a Big Ten title season and being able to watch them, it should be good weather too. It was last year during that time.
Hopefully it doesn't rain.
Tell us a little bit about some of the other events that you guys, the committee's working on.
Yeah, so like you kind of mentioned, a lot of those trailblazer, those characters that we've kind of been discussing in our meetings, we're going to bring, at each of our home football games, we're going to bring one of those women back to the stadium to kind of feature them and honor them at our games on the biggest platform that we have at a football game. So those will be announced the week leading up to each football game, and they'll have a little bit of a feature story in the program. So we're looking forward to that as well. And then each team will have a game dedicated to Title IX. So our volleyball program, I know, is already in the works of bringing back some former players and featuring them and just commemorating their efforts and their success. So each sporting event, each sports team will have a game dedicated to honoring Title IX.
Yeah, and again, those dates will release all those moving forward as they're still kind of working out the details, because it's a lot of moving parts to get some of those former players back, and they want to, do all the honoring of some of those players. Like I know for women's basketball, they're working on bringing back the very first team that ever played here, and so we'll have all those details moving forward. I should have asked you this at the beginning, but the more is possible is the theme around all of the celebration, and I know that's part of the features that are going on the big screen and all of that. So can you walk us through that and the slogan for this and why you guys settled on more is possible?
Yeah, so Adidas is actually the genesis of the More is Possible, and we also have t-shirts that say More is Possible with the 37 words of Title IX on the back of them. And I think the More is Possible to me and for Adidas is just putting out there that women have been competing in athletics for 50 years now at the collegiate level, but there's so much more that can be done, and there's so much room for women to grow athletically and as humans just in the world. So I think that's just leaving the open-ended more is possible. Like, we want to inspire young women to know that, more is possible for you, and you can come compete at Nebraska, and you can go play college athletics and go on. If you don't want to be an athlete, you can do anything with your life. So more is possible. We decided on it just because it's an all-encompassing term, and we think it's going to really inspire a lot of young women to come out, and men, to come out and attend our event.
I love that. I love that. Are the t-shirts going to be sellable? Because I know we'll be asked that.
Yes, actually, we're going to kind of do a little bit of a game. We have 500 t-shirts, and we're going to give each participant at the event a passport book. And if you get all your passports stamped by your teams, you will get a t-shirt.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
So that's at the More is Possible rally.
Yes.
You will be able to get those t-shirts.
Correct.
I mean, all kinds of events and more details will come along as we kind of continue to plan that event. So Huskers.com. Is there anywhere specific? Yeah. Huskers.com.
Huskers.com/Title IX.
IX, right?
Yes, IX. All information.
I made that mistake too. So Huskers.com/Title IX. Okay. Yeah. And just, you look at what our women's sports did a year ago and just how great our women's athletics program is here. How important is it to have this year-long celebration where we do celebrate how far we've come to be able to have the women's athletics teams that we do have here?
Yeah, I think the 50 years puts things into perspective because not all of these teams have been competing for 50 years. So I think this gives us the opportunity to bring out some of those sports that maybe don't have as much of an opportunity for spectators to attend, to give them a platform to meet our fans and possibly attract, new fans to their sport and teach them about what they do. Because I've learned that, we've been pioneers in a lot of those smaller sports too. We were the first women's soccer program in the Big 8, and for example, our rifle team is one of the very few all-women's rosters in a co-ed sport. So things like that people just don't know, we're excited to bring that to the forefront and, emphasize the importance of those sports as well.
That's amazing. Great stuff. And Kate, Dean, appreciate all that you do behind the scenes. I know a lot of people probably don't realize how much you have to do behind the scenes, so we appreciate it. I know you're working really hard on the Title IX stuff, and we'll have more information, but I wanted to at least give you guys a little preview of what's to come over the next year. So keep it on Huskers.com/Title IX for all that information. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jess.
So the More is Possible rally, again, coming up Saturday, October 8th from 10:30 to 12:30 outside Bullen Stadium, leading into Nebraska softball's fall ball game. So you can register right now online at Huskers.com/Title IX. It should be a great event. All the women's teams are going to be out there. I know women's basketball is already making plans to be out there, so it should be a fun event. And I can't wait to go out there myself and celebrate again a great season for Nebraska softball, too.
No doubt. And Barb Hibner tomorrow at the football game. Obviously, Hibner Stadium, the home of Husker soccer, is out there as well. So, and Barb is no longer with us, but certainly in spirit. I know some family members will be there tomorrow.
Yes, and Coach Ravel, I know, is going to be there to accept on behalf of her. So
that's fantastic. Good stuff there. Hey, our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Time to give you our SOS. How will the weather impact the game tomorrow? Well, it's going to be cooler. We've got a front moving through Lincoln tonight. I don't know if it's going to rain, but they're calling for temperatures in the mid-80s for tomorrow. Not much humidity. That's not bad. I still know if you're going to be sitting in the sun, you need to hydrate, drink water, drink some iced tea, do all that. Keep yourself healthy at the game tomorrow. Be nice on the sidelines.
When you were interviewing Ronnie Green, I walked through the stadium to go up to my office, and all the vendors are out. It's game day. It's an eve before game day. I'm so excited.
So pretty good weather forecast for the opener. Could have been in the 90s, but only 84 for that tomorrow. Our weather report brought to you by SOS Heating and Cooling, with fair prices, honest opinions, and longer warranties. They are the Omaha area's trustworthy company since 1950. We're back to talk some baseball. The head coach, Will Bolt's here. The Huskers started fall ball practice on Thursday. We'll hear about a new roster from him coming up next.
Do you want your date to wait for your interlock device to let you drive? Your kids to ask why you have an ankle bracelet? Or your boss to see your criminal history? Do you want to miss important life events because of house arrest? Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The name of our new promotion says it all. Powerball First Millionaire of the Year. Through September 12th, buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket at any Nebraska lottery retailer and enter the voucher number to win a trip to New York City for New Year's Eve on December 31st, 2022. Plus, you'll also get a chance to win $1 million and become the Powerball First Millionaire of 2023. Remember, this promotion ends on September 12th, so plan ahead and play today. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
Subaru loves building vehicles for those who pack a lot into life. The 2023 Crosstrek is their way of saying more power to you. With 182 horsepower, you have a world of fun and adventure waiting for you. And the Crosstrek comes with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. Love is out there. Find it in a Crosstrek. 182 horsepower engine available on select models. DeToe Subaru, located at 2750 Jamie Lane in Lincoln, and online at DeToeSubaru.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Hey, Husker fans, it's time to gear up for the season. So let's do it right. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and more. Shields has everything you need to show your Nebraska pride. Visit our fan shop online or in-store for the biggest and best brands in the game. You'll find the right gear to level up your team spirit with all the essentials for your pregame parking lot party. Shields, proud partner of Husker Athletics and football fans everywhere.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your premier John Deere dealership and proud partner of Nebraska Athletics. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hi, thanks for telling my family and me about Toyota's national sales event.
Oh, you're welcome.
We got a new RAV4 during the event, and it's been great.
Well, that makes me happy. Right now through September 6th, it is the best time to drive off in a new Camry Hybrid, Tacoma, and more. So what are you up to?
You know, we took the RAV4 to a great spot. We've hiked, rafted, and now we're exploring a cave.
Amazing. You're inside a cave right now?
Yep.
Well, I'm glad the RAV4 could make it all happen.
Yeah, my wife talked me into spelunking. I'm actually a complete and absolute amateur. Huh, I could have done without the echo on that.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Visit your participating Toyota dealer today to enjoy every last second of summer. Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 6th.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it's sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Well, fall ball for Husker baseball started this week, and the head coach joined us here tonight. I see you like every day for 3 months, and then I go 3 months without even seeing you. How you doing? How was your summer?
It was great. It was busy, as they always are, just with recruiting and you know, trying to shape a roster and get it finalized. And you know, there's a lot of things to navigate in today's landscape with the portal and some of those things. So yeah, we are. You know, Coach Harvell and Coach Christie just crushed it on the road, just going out and seeing guys, both in current, you know, transfer portal type guys, and then also guys, you know, for future classes. And then we've got kind of the command center, you know, back at home that we're, you know, looking at the portal, you know, constantly trying to figure out, hey, is this guy, you know, going to be a good fit, you know? And so there was a lot of that going on this summer. Had some visits, you know, had just a lot of, you know, it was a long summer, you know, just from the standpoint of, you know, being done in late May. So it was very productive, though. Thrilled with the roster that we have this year, the experience that we have, and the talent, you know, that was young last year that's kind of grown up a little bit. And a lot of guys, the thing I'm excited about, too, is a lot of guys had some really good summers.
Yeah, let's don't be done in late May anymore. I'm good with playing well into June. As you looked to try to put that roster together, give me one, two, three of areas of emphasis that you wanted to fill. Was it whether it be starting pitching, relief pitching, offense? What was it?
Well, I think number one would probably be less specific to position group and more experience. You know, and I think that's just kind of the as college baseball has changed over the past few years with the COVID exemption, with the portal, there's more veteran players available to help build your roster. And we brought in a class of 18 freshmen last year that was committed before any of this stuff had really happened. So we went through last season and took our lumps. A lot of it was, we weren't quite ready from an experience standpoint to compete with, the Rutgers of the world, who had several sixth-year seniors, and Maryland and some of those. And, and we were close, but we just didn't necessarily have that experience to kind of get us over the edge. So I think that was the first thing. And that, whether it be junior college or through the portal, I think we certainly addressed that, double-digit number of junior college guys when it's all said and done. And a lot of those guys, it's crazy to say this, but a lot of those JUCO guys now, they're in their fourth year of college because of that COVID year that happened while they were in school. So you've got some junior college guys that are 22 years old coming in. So they've been around the block. They've had to go grind it out in junior college, and they've performed, and now they're ready to kind of do it on a bigger stage. So we were able to address that, and then you added some veteran pitchers through the portal, 2 Friday night guys from other programs, which is huge. Maybe getting them in a different role here, whether it be Friday night or not, whether it be a starter or not, but just giving them an opportunity at a Power 5 level. I think those guys are going to, they've been used to being the ace of the staff. And then we got definitely more experience offensively. That was where we needed to really improve. It was a disappointing year, well documented, the way we just struggled to score runs. And now Max and Bryce are juniors, and they've got a ton of college at bats. Griffin Everett coming back was an enormous. It's as big as any portal addition we could have possibly had, having Griff come back as a fifth-year guy. So we wanted to address the offense. We knew we needed to plug in some holes in the rotation and get more experience, and we were able to do all of that.
You mentioned some guys had good summers.
Yeah.
Give me some examples of that.
Man, I know I'm going to leave some guys out, but we had quite a few guys that made all-star teams in their league. I mean, Josh Caron and Bryce Matthews were either in the all-star game or they call it the MLB Dreams game. So, like, they're the MLB prospects in that league, and they both hit home runs in that game. Caron hit 11 home runs up in the Northwoods League, which was huge. He caught 55 games. He got 250 plate appearances. He had a great summer. Bryce had a great summer. Like I said, he was an all-star. Garrett Anglem went out to Alaska, had a nice summer in a league that's tough to hit in. Efrain Cervantes was an all-star for the Wilson Tobbs out east and in the CPL, Coastal Plains League, I believe, and had a really nice summer, hit around 300. Max Anderson did his thing up in the Cape. He was an all-star, hit over 300. He was the leading hitter for his team. Chandler Benson had a great summer for the Brazos Valley Bombers, pitched an ERA under 2. Yeah, like I said, I know I'm going to leave some guys out, but there was just, to a man, I mean, the guys that went out and played, they all got better. They're all far better today than they were, when they left. And that's what we hope to see, is just some guys go out on a mission to come back and really improve.
What'd you do with Emmett over the summer? He threw a lot of innings in the spring, and I know he went to some USA thing. How did you approach his summer? Yeah, so he took some time off after we were done, then he ramped it back up to go with Team USA. So I think he had 1 or 2 outings with the USA team. Didn't make that team, so he didn't go play with them, but it was a great experience for him. And then he came back here to Lincoln and got in the weight room and kind of acclimated himself with some of the new guys on the team. So he didn't really pitch a whole lot. He threw only a couple outings. I think he did have 1 outing maybe for the Fremont Moo right before he went out there, just to make sure he was ready to go. So he was relatively shut down for the summer, and he'll be full go this fall. Were there any other pitchers you really limited the summer because of how much work they had for you last season? Yeah, Shea didn't go off and pitch, and he was here every morning. I saw him in the office just on a mission, and we're looking at potentially moving him back to the bullpen, which I think is something he's excited about. If he's one of the guys we feel like is going to give us the best chance as a starter, we'll do that. But
honestly, I think deep down he's a guy that likes to wear his cleats every day. He likes to have a chance to pitch every day, sees himself as an everyday type player. And then, of course, we had a couple guys that were still on the mend, and Buns and Perry were around this summer, and they're rehabbing and doing some of those things.
Again, visiting with Will Bolt, Husker baseball coach. Fall ball began this week for the Big Red, and a lot of anticipation for the season, which will get going in February. Got a lot of guys on this roster. I'm guessing you're expecting a pretty competitive fall.
Yeah, and that's the way it needs to be. You've got to have that competition. There cannot be any complacency. When you have that competition, that really weeds that out, where just guys feel like they've got a spot ironed up. It's written in ink that they're going to be in a certain spot in the lineup, or they're going to play a certain position, or they're going to have a certain spot in the rotation. And just kind of, that it just is natural to have a little bit of complacency when that happens. When you have the competition, guys have to show up every single day, and that's the message we've always had here. And I kind of looking back at it, we had more of that in that fall of 2020. Kind of our first crop of guys that we had brought in, they were competing with, the guys that were currently on the roster, and there was just a lot of that in the fall of 2020, maybe a little less last fall. And it wasn't that there was less effort. It wasn't that we didn't work as hard. It's just there were some positions that weren't really contested, and that goes on the mound and at the plate. And I think what you'll see this fall is that you look around and you see some older guys, maybe a little bit more physical, maybe have more skins on the wall when it comes to how well they've performed in college baseball. You better bring it. You better bring it every day, because if you don't, then somebody's going to be ready to take your job. So it's going to be competitive. We got some guys on the shelf, so having some extra numbers is not a bad thing in terms of the pitching especially, but should get a lot of at-bats, should be very competitive on the mound as well, and it'll be good to kind of see the guys mix it up.
You mentioned earlier Buns and Perry are rehabbing. They were here all summer. How are they doing?
Yeah, Perry's playing catch now,
right.
Feeling great, feels as strong as he ever has, his own words. And then Buns, I believe, is getting ready to start playing catch here soon. Both those guys are highly motivated, and that goes for everybody that's coming back that is a veteran returner on this team. Highly motivated to do whatever it takes for the team. And I think, Perry's another guy that you probably slide back into a bullpen role, ideally. And obviously we know how successful Buns was in that role when we used him in that championship run.
How much did you obviously missed in this past season their pitching ability, but how much did you just miss their energy? Those are pretty high energy guys.
Yeah, and Buns in particular was kind of the ringleader in the bullpen that way. So him going down early, you kind of point to a lot of late inning losses. Nobody really took the reins when it came to just that mentality that it takes to want the ball every day, to go out there and be fearless on the mound and just say, here's my stuff, and just kind of have that edge that, I think that was something that maybe was a little off. If you just see our team in 21, pretty good edge on that team.
Sure was.
And having Buns out, having Perry out for a significant amount of time, and obviously not having a guy like Schwelle at the back end, you're never going to replace those guys. But to your point, yeah, having that edge on the field and guys that just are going to do whatever it takes, we'll be glad to get those guys back.
Well, your first comment about lack of experience, that 21 team had it.
Yeah.
You had it in spades.
In spades.
That sure showed up with Hagee, who played 20 years here in Nebraska,
yeah,
those kind of guys.
Absolutely.
Hacker.
It's important. You can't be young, especially today's day and age in college athletics. You can't be young.
Right. What a cool story a week or so ago with Nate Fisher. Wasn't that awesome? The guy who's out of baseball a year and a half ago and then got to make a major league debut. That's cool.
we were actually laughing about it. He was working our Baseball Academy Fall League a couple of falls ago when we first got here, and Nate, I remember I was actually here with Coach Erstad when he was in high school. So like right before I left, Nate kind of popped on the scene a little bit late and gave him a walk-on opportunity, I believe it was, here at Nebraska. And man, what an amazing story that is, of perseverance, just believing in yourself, betting on yourself, and really cool to see. I mean, we had it on in the office, watching it on TV, and couldn't be prouder of Nate. Hopefully he gets another shot to get back up there.
Expand the
and prove
rosters
himself.
in September. You
Yeah.
got to think they won another lefty arm in that bullpen.
Yep.
Great to see you. Have a good couple weeks. We'll check in with you toward the end of fall ball, see how things are going.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
There he is, Will Bolt, head baseball coach for the Cornhuskers. Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. More of the show coming up.
The Ford truck lineup is purpose-built from the ground up, designed to be tough and productive. Crafted with high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body and torture-tested high-strength steel frame with new tech to help you work smart and hard. The F-150, Ranger, and Maverick are built tough and ready to tackle whatever lies ahead. Hit the road in confidence and learn more about Ford trucks in-store or online anytime at WoodhouseFord.com, your trusted truck dealer since 1975. Woodhouse Ford.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Nebraska has taken over leadership from Princeton University in coordinating the U.S. physics community at the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland. For its role, Nebraska has been awarded over $50 million in National Science Foundation grants. This cutting-edge work at the world's largest particle accelerator helps physicists uncover the origins and makeup of the universe.
Lo hace por derecha, busca hacia la zona, está dentro, está dentro, anotación, Huskers!
Hey Huskers fans, tomorrow, the Huskers Radio Network is proud to present Nebraska football in Espanol. Coverage of the Huskers matchup with North Dakota begins at 2:30 p.m. Central. Tune in at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red!
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hi, thanks for telling my family and me about Toyota's national sales event.
Oh, you're welcome.
We got a new RAV4 during the event, and it's been great.
Well, that makes me happy. Right now through September 6th, it is the best time to drive off in a new Camry Hybrid, Tacoma, and more. So what are you up to?
You know, we took the RAV4 to a great spot. We've hiked, rafted, and now we're exploring a cave.
Amazing. You're inside a cave right now?
Yep.
Well, I'm glad the RAV4 could make it all happen.
Yeah, my wife talked me into spelunking. I'm actually a complete and absolute amateur. Huh, I could have done without the echo on that.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Visit your participating Toyota dealer today to enjoy every last second of summer. Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 6th.
I'm so glad we called SOS. Our AC is the coldest.
I'm always the coldest.
SOS to the rescue.
Hey, this is Dakota Crawford, wide receiver from Louisiana, now playing in Lincoln. When your AC isn't the coldest, you call SOS Heating and Cooling. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition guaranteed. Take it from the coldest. We will keep you cool this summer.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. It's the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe Jessica Coody with you. Time now for our Big Ten game predictions, presented by Choices Treatment Center, helping people make positive choices. We had 6 games last week. It's all right.
Yeah.
Week 0.
At least we got a little taste of it, got a little practice in before we take on the big list this week.
And this is a bigger list this week, quite a bit bigger. All right, so last week, to review, Wyoming at Illinois, Illini roll, all 5 of us. You, me, Andrew, Tim, and Molly took Illinois. Penn State, Purdue. What a great game last night. That was amazing. 4 of us took Penn State. You, me, Andrew, and Tim. Molly went with Purdue, and she almost stole that point from everybody.
I was really mad. I thought Penn State was going to take me out of that one after I talked about, hey, they helped me in the opener last year, but Sean Clifford found a way to get that drive done at the end. That was one of the best drives.
Sure was.
It was so good. So fun to watch.
On the road to be able to do that. Minnesota had no trouble last night. We all 5 picked the Gophers to beat New Mexico State. We were split last Saturday night with the Vanderbilt at a Hawaii game. I don't know why we were, because that was a bloodbath. The Commodores just wiped out the Rainbows. You, me, and Molly took Vandy.
Yes.
Winner. The backyard brawl. Another really good game last night. West Virginia at Pitt. Well. Only one of us took the winner. Pitt. Hello.
You're lucky that wide receiver tipped that pass and they're able to return a pick 6, or else we were taking that game too.
I knew that was going to happen. All right, and then North Texas at UTEP. It was like a pick'em game. It was North Texas won 31-13. The only person in our group to take North Texas and get the win was Tim. So
nice,
standings
Tim.
after week 1, I went 5-1. You and Tim go 4-2. Molly went 3-3, and the Revenge Tour went 3-3.
Hey, it's early.
Uh-huh.
We can still call it the Revenge Tour.
All right, now to this week's games. Tonight's Michigan State Western Michigan game, we all 5 took Sparty. They're up 21-3 at the half. Indiana, Illinois. I'm surprised by this. All of us took Illinois. They lead 7-3 late first quarter. I thought somebody might go Indiana. Somebody who used to do these pictures last year would have probably taken Indiana.
The Indiana fanboy Jeremiah Searles would have rolled with Indiana, but I learned last year not to pick Indiana real early. They were not very good, and they didn't get much better. I don't think adding players, and Illinois played last week, and I really like Chase Brown, their running back, so that's why I took Illinois.
They're up 7-3, 2 minutes to go, opening quarter, and they look really good. I don't know that Indiana can stop them enough during the game. All right, Michigan tomorrow in the Big House hosts Colorado State. It's unanimous. All of us are going with the Wolverines. I don't think they'll have much trouble tomorrow. Here's a really interesting game. South Dakota State ranked number 2 in the FCS level at Iowa. You tempted on this one at all?
I was, but I'm going to roll with Iowa being at home.
Man, me too. I was so close to going at SDSU. I'm playing it safe. We all did. All 5 of us go with the Hawkeyes. Keep an eye on that game. That could be a really interesting game in Iowa City tomorrow.
They're going to come up fired up. And it won't be too big for them the moment, but I think Iowa will just grind it out.
That's kind of the way Iowa does those kind of games. All right, in the Big Ten, Buffalo at Maryland. I'm going Maryland. I think they're pretty high-powered. I don't think they're going to have any problem tomorrow at all.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got Maryland as well. And Buffalo lost a lot of key pieces on their offense, so I'm going to go with Maryland.
Okay. We all do, all 5 of us, so nobody's different yet in our group through these first few matchups. How about this one, though? Rutgers on the road. They open at Boston College. The Eagles are favored to win that game. How do you see it?
I'm going with BC, Boston College.
Okay.
I just think at home again, and I don't know how Rutgers is going to pick up off of what they did last year, and so I'm going to roll with the home team in this one.
Me too. I'm with you. There is and so are Tim and Molly.
Oh, the Revenge Tour.
The Revenge Tour.
He can make up one here.
He's going Rutgers. Tomorrow night, Illinois State at Wisconsin. We're all unanimous there. I don't think the Badgers have much trouble at all in that game. Now it gets kind of fun. Notre Dame at Ohio State, the big game nationally. Surprisingly, Jessica, Ohio State's a 17-point favorite. That's a really big number. I don't think they cover that in week 1. They got a new defensive coordinator. I don't think they cover, but they win. I think the Buckeyes win.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like Ohio State. The trio of offensive weapons. I don't know how Notre Dame's going to be able to slow them down. Listen to this. Since 1985, Ohio State is 20-5 in home night games. They're like 17-1. And so when
they have lost some prime non-conference games at home in the last 10 years.
Yes.
Oklahoma beat them in there. Texas went in there
in
one time.
2005, USC 2009, Virginia Tech 2014, Oklahoma in 2017.
And last year it wasn't a prime time game, but Oregon went in there and beat them early in the year. It was during the day. But I don't think that happens tomorrow night.
I don't either. I'm with you.
All five of us have Ohio State in that game. Okay, Cincinnati at Arkansas, battle of ranked teams. This will be down in Fayetteville. What do you think on this one?
I'm going with Arkansas. I like their quarterback, KJ Jefferson, and he's got some talented wide receivers, the offensive line, the culture's built, and, Arkansas is going to be rocking.
I agree.
And Cincinnati lost almost everybody from that team. So
breaking in new quarterbacks. I'm not dismissing the Cincinnati program. I think they're a good team, but I think Arkansas has really grown up. Coach Pittman has done a marvelous job with the Razorbacks, and we all five agree. Man, we're being boring here. We're all five and agree on this one. All right. Tomorrow night in the Swamp, Utah takes their top 10 ranking on the road to take on the Gators. I'm going to stay with the home team. I think Florida gets it done at home. I think that environment may be a little too much for Utah. I'm going Gators.
Go Utes. Give me Cam Rising and that Utah offense.
Okay. I'm the only one with Florida there. So I'm going opposite the team on that game right there. Sunday night football at the Superdome in New Orleans, Florida State. They won last week in their opener over Duquesne. They go take on LSU. What do you think?
Isn't it your time to pick first?
I picked Florida.
Oh, yeah, you did. I needed a little bit more time to think because I'm this.
All right, I'll lay it out
listen.
mine.
This one I was torn about. I really could go either way. I was talking with my dad about this. I really wanted to go with Florida State. He talked me into going with LSU. So I'm going to roll with my dad. He told me to pick LSU, so I will go with the Tigers.
Listen to your dad. That's the team. They're going to get it done at home. It's a huge advantage for them. Florida State's not quite got their footing yet under their second-year head coach down there. I don't think they're ready to go on the road and win a game like that. I'm going with the Bayou Tigers. The revenge tour is not going to Florida State.
I almost did, but I'll roll with Jack on this one.
So Andrew is opposite everybody in the Rutgers game and the Florida State LSU game.
So Molly and Tim both went LSU as well.
All four of us went LSU. So I thought we would have some more differences in some of those games at the end. We really don't. Just I go opposite you guys in the Gator game, and Andrew goes opposite in two games. Should be fun. Should be fun. This is going to be a good weekend. Looking forward to this. Hey, if you or someone you love has a gambling problem, call Choices Treatment Center at 402-476-2300 or go to the website choicestreatmentcenter.com. We're back with winners and losers for the week. That's coming up next. Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm Student Government President Jake Drake with Campus News. A record 54 Husker students earned the Benjamin A. Gilman International Scholarship in the 2021-2022 academic year. This nationally competitive scholarship provides funding for study and internship abroad opportunities for high-achieving students who might not otherwise be able to afford them. Recipients include students from Crete, Norfolk, North Platte, Raymond, Omaha, and Lincoln.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Backed by popular demand, Hy-Vee drive-through flu shot clinics. Just follow the signs in your Hy-Vee parking lot to get your flu shot right from your car. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment or prescription is necessary. Drive-through flu shots are offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Or get your flu shot inside your Hy-Vee pharmacy at any time with no appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. Some restrictions apply.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Husker Athletics offering a Big Ten football ticket plan for you. $200 for a ticket for 4 home Big Ten games: Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin. That first one is October the 1st against Indiana, who's playing tonight. They're down 7-3 in second quarter against Illinois. If you have an interest, you can do it yourself online at huskers.com/tickets. Time for winners and losers. You want to lead us?
Start with winner or loser?
Start with your winner.
My winner is Buskers. So shout out to Andrew for sending me this. The GM of Buskers took down the sign that they had on their front door when we were there in Ireland that says Buskers, home of the Huskers. And he put out this tweet. We took our front door sign and hung it permanently in our sports bar as a reminder of the week you guys took over.
Wow.
So the Nebraska sign is still hanging there at Buskers. They're going to leave it there.
Fantastic. How about your loser?
Florida A&M University. Did you hear about this story?
Yes.
They had 26 players ineligible, and come to find out they only had one academic advisor, one compliance director, so a lot of it was just a backlog of waivers and all of that, just really putting these student athletes in a bad situation. They were almost not going to play at North Carolina in the opener, and we're going to lose $450,000. Ultimately ended up playing down a bunch of players, and it's been a long week with a lot of drama, but I do think it has sparked some change. I think they're going to hire more staff to help. One compliance person for the entire athletics department, one academic person for the entire athletics department.
You know, we're so spoiled here because, you know, we can really fully resource a lot of different areas. Some of those smaller schools just don't have a lot of budgetary manpower to get people hired. It's hard.
Yeah, and hopefully, again, they had meetings all throughout this week. I think it sparked some change, but the student athletes came together and wrote a letter and asked for better treatment, and I think that's what's happening. But sad for them to miss their home opener or their opener last week.
I'm going fans both for my winner and my loser. Tennis fans for what a week Serena Williams has provided them. She's playing now. Lost the first set, but she's up in set 2. But it has really ignited people to kind of re-engage with the sport of tennis, and she has been able to bring people back one more time to watch her play.
I cannot wait to see what the ratings look like for this.
Oh, it'll be huge.
Yeah.
Going to be huge.
And her outfits, on point.
Well, she's such a great designer, right?
Yes.
She does a lot of that.
You talk about like kind of a Jordan-esque type person.
Yes.
Even long after she's gone, she'll continue to, her brand will carry on.
Tiger was there the other night rooting her on, so she's drawn this to Spike Lee's in the audience tonight. It's a who's who in New York watching the Open.
I want to see you wear a Spike Lee type suit sometime.
All right, I'll break mine out for you. I'll break that out. My loser, BYU volleyball fans. The racial epithet they were throwing at a Duke player last week. Come on, there's no room for that at all. One of the things I'm so proud about Husker fans, you never hear complaints about that. They're usually really supportive. Well, heck, they cheered Nicklon's sister last week when the Pepperdine played the Big Red.
Yeah, and another, you never want that to happen, but you saw even some of our Husker players rally around those Duke players. You saw the volleyball community really come together.
Very cool. Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Speaking of volleyball, before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, and it's the law. That'll wrap up tonight's show. Great show tonight. I hope it was a party show. Everybody's kind of expecting parties from us on Fridays. We'll get her going tomorrow, 10:30, Husker game day. Big Red against North Dakota tomorrow at 2:30. Have yourself a great night and a great weekend. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event.
Just move on up.
Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharge sales event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to